This is a Case 1570 tractor. It's made by Ertl and is in 1/16 scale. Now this is number 2 in their Precision Elite series, and this is the chase version of the 1570. There are 2 versions. One's just in regular case colors, and the other one was made for the bicentennial in 1976, and they called it the Spirit of 76. Case did this with a couple different models of tractor, and the 1570 was one of them. And it looks pretty good. It's a very patriotic scheme, and it looks good with the Case tractors. I don't know what it is. It just it fits. So anyway, it's your basic precision Ertl tractor. It's very nice, very nicely detailed. It's got real good features to it. The interior is very well done. The doors open up, the windows open up. They're a little tricky, but they do open up, and they got the brackets there, which is pretty neat. What's interesting is, I'm not really sure what it is, but the rubber tires, wherever it's coming from in China, as everything's made in China now, a lot of these have this, it's like a gray like film or residue on the tires, and it wipes right off, but you got to go through and you got to get, in between all the treads and everything. It's kind of tedious. I'm not sure why you have to do it or why the rubber comes that way, but just kind of is the way it is now. Now it's got duals that look pretty neat. It looks pretty mean. It's got a rack of front weights that aren't on the tractor right now, but it helps it dress up a little bit. It makes it look pretty good. The motor detail is very good. The decals and the paint's very good. It's got a couple scuffs on it, which this just came out of the box. It's a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. It is a very, very heavy model. Like, it's almost hard to pick up. It's got the 3-point details back here. It's pretty good. It's got 4 remotes. Well, I guess it's 2 remotes, depending on how you look at it. 2 pairs. And now the Precision Elite series, they're supposed to have lights that light up, and I guess the flashers work. I'm not really sure. This one just doesn't work. Like I said, it came out of the box that way. Now the way the box is set up is that you can, I guess, demo the lights. Like, you could turn the lights on in the box. So maybe it just, somebody turned it on too many times or whatever, the batteries are dead. I'm not really sure. But the idea is you push on the top of the cab here, and the lights light up or flicker or flash or whatever it is. And it's got a switch back here that you can actually turn it on and off, but I guess with the battery being dead, it don't really matter. And I would imagine the battery sits right behind the SMV sign, because it's got a little screw and a little panel here. But like I said, that's just a guess. It's got a neat little radio antenna here. That's a neat touch. Now, I'm gonna try to get a good view inside the cab there. The cab is just really well done. You can get a pretty good view of all the controls and everything, the decals on the dash, all the gauges and everything. It looks fantastic. Ertl does such a good job with these tractors, and for the price, you can't beat it. I mean, they're fantastic models for what you pay for them. And I'll show you the undersides. God, this thing's heavy. And, like all the rest of the precision tractors, there's nothing that's left out. I mean, everything is here. If it's on the real tractor, it's on the model. Now, it's kind of interesting to me. At the time, Case was probably the biggest value for the money, because you could get a power shift transmission in a Case that you couldn't get it in other manufacturers, and you could get that power shift tractor for way less than what John Deere would charge. So at the time, maybe not the nicest tractors. They certainly don't have maybe all the refinements that like John Deere would have had, but if you needed a lot of horsepower and you needed power shift and you needed to not spend a whole lot of money and have a cab with heat and air and everything else, you could do that with a case. So that was, there's a lot to be said for that. Now, the resale value, if you look at the tractors today, you can still buy, 1570, 1070. You get basically real cheap horsepower that's real reliable. And it's kind of interesting that, their tractors aren't that great, but they've held up for 30 years. They're still reliable. They're still working on a lot of farms today. And that says a lot. Now, like I said, what's interesting is the case was always a lot cheaper to buy for the real tractor, and that holds up in the model too. Like these 1570s, I guess probably the retail on them, most of the Ertl Precisions now is probably between $115 to $180, somewhere in between there. Well, you can get the regular 1570s for about $100 or less. You can find them pretty easily for, $90 or so. And that's kind of interesting. Like, even their models are cheaper than the other brands. So that's just kind of funny. It trickles down even to that. Now, like I said, this is the Chase version. These are supposed to be rare, but they're not really that rare. You can find them pretty easily. And you can find them without breaking the bank too. Like other Chase versions can be very expensive, but this one, the Spirit of 76, you can find them for between probably $120, $150. Whereas other Chase tractors will be in the $200, $300 range, sometimes $400, depending on what it is. So, again, it's just excellent value for your dollar. And I like them. I think they look great. It's a nice, big, beefy tractor. And overall, it's a nice model. Can't say too many bad things about it, really. So anyway, that's about it. If you'd like to see more of what we have, please subscribe to Maryland Construction Diecast. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment. Thanks for watching.